he was the kingpin that funded Bad Boy, and he took the rap. Then he went to Obama and Eric Holder and got Corey a party.
Double tap the screen, yo, before we get into this. Joanne B, you up? What's good? Huh? So you up right away, huh? You rolling with the Q man right away, huh? What's going on? You good? Yeah. I'm just out here, you know. Gonna wait, trying to wait. Let's see if a couple more people come up in here before we get it on. You know. That's good. That's good to hear, yo. You know. Go on, share up that live. Share it up, Joanne. Who you got you could share it up to? Tell them they gotta watch this stuff here. You know. They gotta be watching this type of stuff. You know. So what I go on? We're gonna see if a couple more people get up in here, you know what I mean? I'll just go in here. Alright. Double tap the screen, yo. Who that? Who that? We got 2 people up in here now. You know? Who's that? Who that? We about to get it on. We waiting for a couple more people to come up in here. Double tap the screen. We got 3 people up in here. Double tap the screen. Rep your hood. Where you from? We about to get into it. No. What? Barthala? What? Bartholom? English or Spanish? You hear what I'm speaking, right? Just a gamer. Hello. How you doing? You know, Remy, Angela. Hello, Jonathan. What's good? Huh? Y'all good out there? We got 9 people up in here. Double tap the screen. 20 people up in here right away. How y'all doing out there? Rep your hood. Where you from? Where you from, Jonathan? You know, we about to get into it. We about to chop it up real quick, you know? You know how we do it over here. You know how to search Q. You know how the Q man do it. You know, some of y'all look new though. Love from India. Remy Angela. What's up? You in India right now? Huh? Double tap the screen. Double tap the screen. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. You heard? We gonna get into it in a minute. Double tap the screen. Double tap the screen. You know? How many of y'all out there are Diddy fans? How many of y'all out there are Diddy fans? Put a 1 next to your name. You know, if you're a Diddy fan. Alpha, big up. You know? Don't make sense y'all go nowhere, man. We had like 20 people up in here. Now we got 8. Double tap the screen. Lets YouTube know, you know. Set the program out. We talk all things black over here. We talk about all the things that's facing the black man. Black folks. You know, that's how we do it over here. Double tap the screen. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. You know, as soon as I said we talk all things black, my view was cut in half. It's all good. Gone. You know how I do it. You know I don't take no fucking prisoners. Y'all know that already. You know what I mean? Nigga gone. So we got 3 people up in here. If you're new to the thing, subscribe. You know? Seen everybody run out just now. They all gone. Now we got 3 people up in here. So what's up? Joanne, you still up in here? If you're new to the channel, subscribe. See where the real people at. See where the real people at. You know, double tap the screen. If you're new, hit the subscribe button. You heard? That's how we do it. We about to get into it. Alright, Joanne, that's what's up. Double tap the screen, yo. Oh, this thing here looks like, this thing looks blurry, don't it? Yeah. So what's up, peoples? What's going on? What y'all been looking at lately? Bartholomew. Keep working hard. Alright, Bartholomew. Keep working hard. You heard? Where you from, Bartholomew? Huh? Remy, you still up in here? India still up in here? We got 3 people. Let's see. Let me see here. I don't know what the hell that is. So we ain't got no fans of Diddy up in here. Nobody don't like Diddy. Philippines. From the Philippines. Bartholomew. We way over there in the Philippines, boy, they be sending my programs all over the damn place, huh? They don't be sending it where the fuck it needs to be, don't they? Huh? Philippines is good, man. You know, they ain't sending it to the hood. Ain't Joanne? Joanne, you see this shit here? They got the program all over the place in the Philippines, you know, but the people who really need the message, who need to hear this here, who's really about, you know, they don't want to send it to them people. You know what I'm saying? So, consider yourself lucky if you done discovered this channel, you know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah, Joe. Yo. But yo, I'm still doing a lot of this scrolling stuff here, just checking out how we look in the media, how we look on the internet as black folks, you know what I'm saying? That's what I've been checking out. Especially since this whole Diddy thing came about. You know? Scooter School, Indiana, checking in. Big up yourself. Scooter from Indiana. What's the deal? You know? What's good, Indiana? Indiana, big up your damn self. You know? Yeah, so you know, we're doing the black round right now, you know? We taking a look at how black folks is being treated. You know what I'm saying? How these MFers is dealing with us around the world. You know? You see, me, I ain't one of them. I ain't one of them. I'm not with handing the whip. If a nigga gonna beat me, I'd rather a black nigga bust me upside the head. You know what I'm saying? If I'm gonna be judged, I'd rather be judged by my own. I'm just looking at this thing, how crazy it is. We've all known Diddy decades now, right? We can say at least 3 decades now. And within that time, we see him put work in, build his thing up. And you're going to see now in a matter of a year or so, they just take all of that away from him. You know what I'm saying? That's their attempt. Jen. I done told you English, Jen. Right? English or Spanish? How about Swahili? Huh, Jen? How about Swahili? You keep asking me English or Spanish. You know? Yo. Y'all hearing that? I'm supposed to be able to run two of these shit at once, but I ain't gonna try it right now. But I got this thing here I want y'all to hear, man. I want y'all to really check out. Double tap the screen, yo. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. I got this dude here. He's a PR person here. You know, he's on Hip Hop Uncensored podcast. Y'all can go over there and check it out, right? He's talking some real shit, you know. I thought y'all might like to hear what he's saying, and we talk about it as he goes along. You know, we pause and chop it up.
Corey moved back to the LA home with Diddy. He bought him 2 Rolls Royces,
right?
Rolex watches.
So check this out. We're gonna start it somewhere around here.
Sleep. You're tossing and turning, you know, because you're used to a certain comfort level, used to a certain bed.
Y'all can hear that?
So that has a play on your psyche. Now you can't talk to people. As Mr. Cosby, he got up one morning blind in his cell, thinking he could just open the door and go and pick up the phone and call. It's that mental anguish that you go through.
Yo, this brother gets real deep. You know what I'm saying? And the issues that's facing us as black folks. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, really take the time to listen and dissect what he's saying. You know, to get a better understanding of what's going on with us.
It took him probably 6 months, and he's blind, to try to get comfortable. 6 months. You know, you're eating cold cereal for breakfast, and they give you a piece of toast. You know, the food is horrible. So you're crying out for help. And eventually a guy like Diddy, who's young, you just uprooted him overnight. You took his life away overnight. You took fine champagne away, fine water, fine dinners, fine clothing, the comforts of being in your own home, the comforts of being able to be around family and friends and talk things out in therapists. You took all of that away in less than 24 hours. So, yeah, he is suicidal. And yes, the government is saying, how many people is he going to rat on? Diddy can't do the time, and I'm going to remind you and take you back. You need Google it on your phone.
Listen to this, people. Check this out.
And Corey Jacobs.
It's important. Listen.
Google Corey Jacobs and Diddy. Corey had 16 life sentences. Diddy, he was the kingpin that funded Bad Boy. And he took the rap. Diddy went to Obama and Eric Holder and got Corey a party. Corey moved back to the LA home with Diddy. He bought him 2 Rolls Royces, Rolex watches, everything. Because Corey, he kept over $100,000 on Corey books. Wow. So this is also to say, okay, Corey, we can't try you for this again because that's double jeopardy. You got a pardon. But at the end of the day, you're back with Diddy. We're going to get you back in prison. They're going after everybody.
Y'all hear that?
Now, from your PR perspective, is there?
Y'all hear that, people? You know, how many of y'all out there knew that? Was aware of that? So Diddy's been making moves a long time ago. That's not pleasing to the powers that be.
Anything that Diddy can do to save himself in a situation, or is his goose cooked? Because it seems like it's. We've had many conversations with you about Dr. Cosby, R. Kelly, and every conversation I felt like there was some type of slither of hope.
It's always a slither of hope. You know, First of all, the Constitution, although not perfect, It's only document we have to live by. You're innocent until proven guilty. And what you have to focus on, if it was me, I would be out here right now telling your story. I would be telling your story, talking about Sean Combs, not Diddy. Diddy's dead. Love is dead. Okay, all of those aliens are dead. They're gone. Let's talk about no one ever got to see Sean Combs because Sean Combs did not want the world to meet Sean Combs. Sean Combs is a vulnerable person. Sean Combs is a person who has been led down a lot of dark path. And then you must expose who these people are. These people that are accusing him. You have to expose it. You know, he has a right to change the jury pool because the jury pool has already been tainted against him. It's spoiled against him. That Southern District, the moment he has his trial, their minds are already made up. Their minds, look, there was no fair trial for R. Kelly. There was no fair trial for, with a fair jury trial with Harvey Weinstein, with Donald Trump. You think they're going to let Diddy off? New York is notorious that Southern District is getting jurors who say, you know what? Why should I find him not guilty? He's rich, he's wealthy. I'm having trouble paying my bills. The psyche of jurors, man, when you go through this and you get to, after a trial, you get to interview those jurors and call them. And every juror that we interviewed all said the same thing. Stay away from young people on the jury. They're just trying to make a name for themselves and they do not read at all. Their minds are already made up. Yeah. So the 20, 30-year-olds, stay away from them. You got to look at older jurors who are going to take the time to read and dissect the information.
Y'all hear that, peoples? And that's very important to pay attention to. That's pretty much what you're seeing on the internet right now when it comes to this situation. Most of the people who you hear talking against him are these young people, you know, who probably haven't read enough, haven't lived long enough to really see all the ills that really face black people. You know, that goes way back. You know, so as he's saying, you know, in his jury selection, hope he's smart enough to select juries, you know, 35, 40 and, you know, and above, because people like those, chances are they're going to take the time to read and understand what's happening with the case. And I agree with that analysis there.
And my thing right now, his attorneys, I feel like they need to have someone out speaking on his behalf, not someone white. He's been surrounded by white people all his life. You got to have people that look like you now, because what they're trying to do is take his black support away. They've already taken the white support away. You got to have the black support. They got to come and do, his attorneys got to come and do Hip Hop Uncensored. They got to do the grassroots shows now. They cannot depend on mainstream media, because mainstream media is going to dictate the message. They're going to change up the messaging. They're not going to put out any of the facts of truth, because they need to see you go down.
Right. Those tapes, there's been a lot of speculation that Diddy is a fall guy, and this is just all speculation and rumor, that he recorded some pretty powerful political figures or movie stars or whatever on those tapes, because apparently he's recording everything and using that against people.
He's smart.
Yeah. So, do you think that's one of the major reasons why they seen something in there, or maybe a big political figure, a big player in the game, and, you know, they want to protect that information?
That's why I say it's an election season.
Okay.
You know, it's a federal election season. You know,
Real
can
talk.
you imagine, maybe Kamala Harris has been at some of these parties. Maybe he's giving money to her campaign. Can you imagine all of the people that have been at these freak offs. You know, we could Google on our own and see all of the stars that were at his home, the political people at his home, and his parties. So that's a big fear. The big fear is to silence him right now and don't give him a voice until after the elections are over.
Y'all hear that?
Because
Yeah.
I guarantee you there's some scathing things out here that
Double tap the
world
screen,
is
yo.
not ready to hear. And they don't want the world to hear. Now, me personally, when you look at this, and I think as attorneys, if I was representing him, I would say, hey, look at the process of elimination. Who do we eliminate first? They're going to try to eliminate our client. Now, the way we prevent them from eliminating our client is we get out here in front of this right now. This is a moving Amtrak Acela. This ain't no New Jersey Transit train or a subway train. This is a Acela. It's moving at a high pace. And you got to get out here and you got to throw everything out here. His sons and his family cannot get out here talking on his behalf.
This is important,
they're
yo.
all subject to being sued civilly.
Yeah.
You know, they cannot get out here and say anything on his behalf because they're a part of all of this. They're central figures in this prosecution, and so them saying anything opens up a door for more charges to come, not only against him but against his family.
Now let me ask you this, because let's say he has tapes. He has recorded tapes of these alleged freak offs involving adults. Let's say they're all adults, but there's stuff on there that people don't want to see. Homosexual behavior, maybe infidelity, whatever the case may be. None of that's illegal. It's all taboo, but it's not illegal.
Right.
Are we talking about a situation where that you feel like he's broken laws and that's why he's in it, or he has dirt
Listen,
on people that
listen
could
how he answer
potentially
this.
ruin some reputations? And this is what we're talking about here.
I don't feel like Diddy broke any laws that nobody knew about.
Y'all hear that? All right.
I don't feel that way. You don't go get, nobody gives you the key to the city. Everybody knew every law he was breaking. He told you he was a bad boy. Okay, so he never hid who he was. He never really hid his sexuality. Because when stories came about Christopher Williams saying that, you know, he had to give him a blowjob to get a deal, Diddy never came out and said it wasn't true. Because he could have been sued for defamation. He didn't try to change the messaging, okay? So at the end of the day, what's damning is they had to silence him right now. Because you could call it a conspiracy theory. It's not a conspiracy. This Diddy probably has people in these free calls that they probably ask him to destroy the tapes. I can only imagine how many people reached out to him and said, hey, bro, you got me on tape. Real talk. This, like, hey, you got me on tape. If you do you mind destroying it? And when he said no to all of these people, because that's his only leverage he has.
Yeah.
Now, they're consenting adults. I don't feel like, me personally, and I know I will probably get attacked for this,
This is real talk here.
America has put out the wrong message.
Listen to this here. This is very important. He pointing out.
That's a lie. They have put out the wrong message and they say that women should not be held accountable for their actions or their, because you're now saying that, you know, women have the right to have a disassociation with accountability and responsibility. To me, if you're attending these parties, knowing the premise and knowing the objectives of the party, you know, why go? You know, why no one can make you or Sam take drugs unless you want to take drugs. If you want to smoke a joint, you want to smoke a joint, okay? No one can force that on you. Now,
hear
there's
that?
a difference if someone held you down by force and poured liquor down you and poured it in your mouth. That's different. But how does one even get to say that I willingly attended the party. I drove myself to the party. I caught an Uber to the party. I flew in for the party. But I was fearful that if I didn't do it, I wasn't going to be able to do X, Y, Z. So what? Okay, how many people get terminated from jobs today because they didn't want to pick up the trash or clean the bathroom?
Right. Right.
There's no legal case being filed against some employee who said, well, that wasn't part of my job description, but they wanted me to sweep the floors. And I felt that was degraded. You had the ability to walk away, go change jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yeah. I want to. A lot of people were saying that this got started when he went after Diego Wine and Spirits, the company that was the
Do you know who controls the liquor business? The federal government.
Wow.
Tobacco, alcohol. It's called TTV.
Okay.
They control it.
Pay attention,
Okay.
people. Very important.
Let's go back. I told everybody, when you take on these cases and when you do what I do, the only way you're going to be successful.
He's letting you know directly, Diego, the Diageo, that liquor company that he took on to sue. You heard what he just said. When they asked, do you know who controls the liquor infrastructure? The federal government. So Diddy in suing Diego, he was directly fucking with the federal government. You understand? Because they control alcohol, cross state lines everywhere, as well as the tobacco. So you fuck with any one of those two industries, you guarantee that's the government you fucking with. No matter which name you see on it, that's the government business you fucking with, because they eating big time off of that. Remember, people, the real price of a pack of Newports is something like $3. But because of the certain laws, the way how they put it, they bump them things up now to like $7 a pack. That the rest of that money don't go to Newport. The rest of that money go to the government. You know what I'm saying? For the regulations that they put on it. That's why the fees had to be increased. You understand? So when you go around now, you take on Diageo. Diageo got to say, yo, look, man, look what he doing to us, man. He fucking with the bread. He's suing us. We not gonna be able to pay y'all as much as we supposed to because of this dude now. Hold on, people. Anyway. Yeah, y'all there? Yeah, sorry about that. So that's basically what this thing here boils down to. I'm just hoping people are seeing through the crap. You know what I'm saying?
It's studying the history of anything.
Yeah.
I don't care what you get into, whether you have a podcast, you had to study the history of it to know if it was going to be successful and how to make it successful. Okay, so that's anything you go into. You got to go back to Prohibition, and you got to go back to Capone and how they were bootleggers. Okay, they were paying off the federal government because you're going across state line bringing alcohol. Alcohol travels across state lines. It travels internationally, right? So it's controlled by the federal government. Diageo has tentacles. Okay, you want to sue us civilly? We've been paying you $60 million a year. I propose $60 million a year. And you want to sue us civilly? Our tentacles are much longer than you can ever imagine. And they said, well, no, okay.
See, this is the thing a lot of people don't want to hear.
Against them. There ain't enough. You know what we're about to do now?
Especially our own people.
Our tentacles and reach over into the Justice Department. And if he was smart, he would have done what Russell Simmons did.
This full interview is on Hip Hop Uncensored podcast.
Go to Bali, be his next door neighbor, and sell all your businesses. If he was smart, and I'm not saying he's not a smart guy, but sometimes society and the world builds these celebrities up. But at the end of the day, you got to always understand, and I'm not going to use the word on this show, I just use this
Double
word.
tap the
You're
screen, yo.
always a no-grow.
Right, yes, sir.
I'm
You're
gonna
always a no-grow.
Understood.
50 Cent. He said something about him.
Listen to
It's a
this.
1 minute clip.
Listen to this.
Corporations, like me, my particular experience with Beef Centauri, it was great in the beginning. It's great for the work for them. It's not so cool when you start to own them. You see what I'm saying? So I made a lot of money with them too. Like, there's a point, they did a deal that mirrored what Puffy's deal with Diageo was, or Ciroc. So he didn't have ownership at that point, but he was getting a lot of money, almost like $60 million a year at one point. So you see him go to daily on is when you see him have some issues. And these people have really strong relationships. Don't think that the civil case doesn't turn into a criminal case. That's because he's making them uncomfortable. That's a big part of it. The spirits business is not governed. You got this discus board that they created, right? You got two companies that are $3 billion a year, and Beef Centauria and Diageo. The distribution level, it's very hard for to get things to a point where you can do the numbers right now. They incentivize the sales force by giving them box bonuses. And then when you sell the product, you get the bonuses off the boxes that's there. But you make that no matter what product you sell. So if you sell Hennessy or Remy out the gate, they start to put down pressure on the new companies.
All right, that's just a small clip.
Well, and this is exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
Double tap the screen, yo.
Seen that clip. Same thing. You got to do the research and know the history of how it works. You know, look,
Double tap the
I've been
screen.
involved with.
If you're new,
several
subscribe
of
to
my
the
friends.
channel.
I got a friend who has a bourbon out right now, and we got it in all the liquor stores. I got another friend who has his own rum out. I have a family member. She's a
Double
investor
tap
in
the
a
screen.
vodka
Double tap
company.
the screen if you're new.
So it's
Subscribe.
around me, and I understand how the business works. It's just when the tentacles are so long, it's when you get out of pocket. And Diddy got out of pocket, and when I mean he got out of pocket, they don't want to see a no-grow accumulate planes and touting themselves as a billionaire. Now they have exposed where's the $1 billion, and I always say this, whether it was Mr. Cosby or Kelly, Harvey Weinstein, these people are asset rich and cash poor. They have the assets, and the assets could be
Double
$2
tap the
billion
screen, yo.
with the assets. But when charges like these come about, your assets are diminished in value, and they purposely bring these charges because that's what happened with Mr. Cosby. Look at his artwork. He could have a painting that's worth $100 million, but when the charges came out, the painting and artwork never supposed to depreciate. They're supposed to always appreciate. But the paintings went down from $100 million. Some of them went down to like $10 million. Wow. We had people to come and tell us Mrs. Cosby was trying to liquidate things just to help fund, because after he was incarcerated, we lost AIG. We lost the insurance that was paying all the legal bills, because it was to their benefit to supplement the criminal cases. So what they did with Diddy, once he settled with Cassie, his insurance company dropped him.
I hear that.
So now you're seeing the real wealth. He only has the properties to put up. He couldn't go out and touch $50 million cash. He just put up properties.
Yeah.
Because the government is smart enough. Why would we let you bond out and offer us a bond of $50 million with your real estate when right now nobody probably wants your real estate because you're in all this trouble, and nobody probably wants to live in a house with all these freak-offs, next door neighbors. Nobody probably wants this property. They devalue the property. They don't want that. They want the cash. And what they have done, they cut off his access, believe it or not, because the federal government has frozen his accounts.
Mm-hmm.
So how can he get money to defend himself? Now his attorneys, they got to hire another firm to come in and try to get those funds released so he can have the right to his counsel. No, they're going to tell him he got all these houses he offered, tell them to sell the homes. See, you have to be careful how you portray yourself to be. That's why you don't see, prime example, show me when you've ever seen Denzel Washington show off his homes and his lifestyle.
Never.
You never saw it. You never will. Because Denzel understands who he is. Have you ever seen Will Smith show off his home and cars? No. You just see him going from helicopter to a private jet. He's not paying for that kind of stuff. People know him on their planes. They understand that Oprah. When have you ever seen Oprah play? Have you seen Tyler Perry play? Nope. Because at the end of the day, as Mr. Cosby always said, hey man, I'm still a no-girl to me.
You said something a couple minutes ago that caught my attention when you were talking about how people may have called Diddy and said, hey, delete that tape, delete that tape. Now, we've seen that the federal authorities have taken some of his recordings, his video, phone recordings of him talking to different artists, previous artists, whoever he may have, trying to bribe him. Do they have those access to, would they have access to those type of tapes of people asking him to delete things if they were out? And if they do, what are they going to do with that?
I'm pretty sure his lines were tapped.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure they have access to all that. Look, it's going to be a lot of bombshells dropped during the trial. And will we get to see a trial? I think the deck is stacked so heavy, you might see Diddy take a deal. And don't be surprised that R. Kelly might not be talking. Don't be surprised, okay? Prison is not an easy thing to do.
Yeah.
People brag about federal time. Well, when you're on some type of resort, it all depends what federal prison they send you to.
Right.
But one thing about it, I tell everybody, hey man, spend all your money you got to stay on the ground, because as long as you're free, you can make money. You can't make money when you're free, because here's the problem. If he's found guilty, can you imagine the millions of dollars of restitution?
You're gonna break
And
it.
see, I still go back to
That's real
Mr.
talk.
Cosby. When they saw this last lawsuit come out against Diddy Funk,
Diddy need to set it in his head right now that I'm willing to lose everything to get the fuck up out of here, because I can make it all back.
$100 million. The government said, you know what? No, we got to get our piece of the pie. They're going to hold all of his money up. And because they know the circus is about to come to town. And they're collecting tickets. And the tickets is his financial means. And the government is like, no, they're shutting everything down. Because now they're going to take all of those people who are filing suits against him, and they're going to integrate them into their prosecution to be witnesses against him. And they're probably telling those people, I'll tell you what, you know, he's found guilty. He's going to have to pay millions of dollars out in restitution. So you will see the houses, the planes, the boats. And I always remind people, Diddy made the biggest mistake. And I think you guys might have seen it, you might not. If you remember when he purchased the yacht, he had his staff lined up on the deck of the yacht. And they were all white people. And he said, look at me, a black man, got all these white people working and taking care of me.
Y'all hear that?
At the end of the day,
So Diddy ain't just start that shit. You know what I'm saying? Diddy been doing shit that's been rubbing these people the wrong way. You know, now he started a political party, put his own money up on it. Then now you taking on Diageo.
hey, white people don't like that. Who does this Negro think he is to say that we're working for him and we got to clean up after his freak off, his alleged freak off parties? We got a sex cleaning crew. Come on. and he's going to degrade us like this. And then if you go back and look at that video, if you can find it, look at the faces of all the people on the deck. Look into their eyes. It was so much anger there. And this black man is saying, I got them taken care of.
I hear that.
So he pushed a lot of buttons. And
Do not take that
I
lightly.
always believe, because I believe in us as a race, so I always believe that I don't care how wealthy we are, we're still black people. And we don't have the means and resources to run an enterprise of that nature.
My last question, and we definitely appreciate you the 45 minutes you spent with us today.
Sure.
I think
Oh, no, man, anytime.
yeah, the unseen hand, will be Jay-Z. We mentioned Jay-Z, Beyonce. We talked about this before. Jay-Z was cool with Diddy, man. They were doing those Rock Nation brunches together, talking about black excellence. It reminds me.
All right, I don't want to use too much of these dudes' content. You know what I mean? Give them fair opportunity. If you want to check it out, y'all could scoot on over there at Hip Hop Uncensored, Hip Hop News Uncensored. This interview is from about a month ago. So y'all could go over there and check out the full interview. He's got a lot of stuff he's saying. He's revealing a lot of backstories behind the thing. If you take the time to really listen to it as a black person who's interested in waking up. Waking up your mind and stop thinking how they want you to think. Stop just jumping on every goddamn narrative that they put out there about us. Because most of the time it's not true. They have an agenda, and this interview is very telling. So I would advise anyone to go on over there, Hip Hop News Uncensored, check out the full interview, and focus on it, because, he's put it in a real nice, eloquently, so you can get it and understand it. In the meantime, in between time, you already know how it goes. Lion Squad, we out.